listening to the Loud Talk Podcast, powered by Hustle Killer.
You're listening to Loud Talk Podcast, powered by Hustle Killer. It's motherfucking Bernie Mac. You listen to motherfucking Loud Podcast, motherfucker. Word. Okay, hello. Welcome, everybody. This is the Loud Talk Podcast. This is episode 4, season 3. We made it. And we have a special guest to my right. Her name is Allison Koosman. Mm-hmm. What up? How you doing? I usually give a nice handshake to each guest. How are you? So thanks for coming. I wanted to have you on for a while. I'm glad that we got some availability. You sent me your schedule, which is very professional, and I really appreciate that. And I actually got to see you perform last night at the Jungle, which was pretty interesting. She's a very talented artist. If you can see right here, this is her information to find her online. So immediately go and stream everything, all right? And look her up, YouTube, and all that good stuff. But how old are you? Let's let the people know how old you are.
I am 22 years old.
22 years old. Okay, and if my research does me right, you're from Milton, Massachusetts?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and you went to Milton High School?
I did, unfortunately.
Word. How was that? Unfortunately. Wow. Hey, shout out to Milton. We like Milton. She's from there, so, I know what it's like. How was it like growing up in Milton? I know a few people over there.
Milton, it was fine, I guess. Nothing super exciting happened.
Right.
We're just a suburb of Boston.
Yeah.
The town itself is I really like the location of it. I can come here from my house in Milton, go right through Boston. If there's no traffic, it's a pretty
because you know how it is nowadays in Boston. Traffic is.
That's why I was late today.
7.
I was like, damn.
I know, it's cool. We were still setting up, so
okay,
obviously you came here right on time. So yeah, you're from Milton. You're 22.
Mm-hmm.
So the first time that I caught wind of you, I believe, was an open mic event at the Jungle, and I think Terminology was there. The rapper, he wasn't performing, but I believe he was there?
No, there was a performance he did that night when he came. It was later on in the night, though.
Okay.
It was cool.
Yeah.
I had gone there previously before that.
Okay.
But only by a few weeks. And then he came and everyone was freaking out. I was like, what?
You don't even know who he is, right?
No.
Yeah. He's
I was
an older hip-hop dude. Shout out to Terminology. So had you performed at the Jungle before that?
Before the Terminology thing? Yeah.
Okay.
I, not a show performance. It was just for open mics on Wednesdays.
Right.
Shout out to the Jungle. Open mics on Wednesdays.
Jungle, always.
After open mic, there's a karaoke and it's very fun.
Yeah.
John could be your bartender, or Brian, or Free Dope.
Okay.
Now, I also work there, so
really?
I'm shout out.
Okay. Shout out to coworkers and stuff like that. Who plugged you into So your employment plugged you into that place? Or?
No. So actually, do you know the artist Aldra, Alexis Richards?
I probably have him or her.
Her.
Okay, I probably have seen her. I just didn't know.
She's a very dope creative. Go check her out.
Okay.
She used to give me so before COVID hit, I used to get. Well, my friend Jeff, he was telling me about these open mics at the Middle East, the corner Middle East, the smaller one.
Yeah. Upstairs, the Middle East.
Yeah. And so there were open mics there. This was back in 2019.
Right.
And then he was like, "Oh, hey, let's go to one of these open mics." And I was like, yeah, sure. And at the time, I was busking. If you don't know what that is when you bring an instrument out onto the street and then you just drop your case or a hat or something for
Perform
money.
Live right there.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
And so I used to do that in the public gardens in Boston because you don't need a permit to play on public grounds.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, sweet.
Knowledge.
So if you want to do that, you can go do that, but only in public areas.
Dropping gems over here. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to loophole the system.
Yeah, exactly, right.
You got to save as much money as you can. And so, and I used to do that, and so he was like, yeah, let's meet there. And then one day I had all my stuff, and then I met them it was my friend Jeff and my friend James. We started a band really quickly for a hot second, and it's called Cool Moms Band. We never actually wrote a full song or ever actually like became a full band, but we would meet up and it'd be cool and it was fun.
Yeah.
And so shout out to
days.
Cool Moms Band
Cool
on
Moms
Instagram.
Band, yes. Is it Instagram?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, check out the Instagram.
There's
definitely.
like maybe 2 posts on there, but it's funny.
Right.
And so I met at the time, our bassist James and our lead singer Jeff. He also played the piano.
Yeah.
And we went there, and Alexis Richards, Aldra or Von Aldra, on Instagram. Check her out.
Yep.
She was like, "Oh hey, yeah, I have my set list for tonight. I can either put you at the very beginning or at the very end."
Yeah.
And I was like, "How late is the very end?" And she was like, "It was midnight."
Midnight, yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm okay. I'll just go first."
Right.
And that was my first time like on a stage per se with people, since my actual first performance in front of people
At the Middle East.
no, actually it was, sorry, this story's going like everywhere,
Okay,
but there's
yeah.
like potholes in places
yeah.
where it's like, wait, there's a backstory to
as
this.
quick as you can take us there.
Yeah, exactly. And so in 2018 when I got out of high school, I graduated 2018 Milton High.
Ooh, let's go.
And if you say, "Hey, do you know this person?" I probably do.
Right. Small town. Yeah.
Small town. But so my dad found this like 1 week or 5 week long camp program thing at Berklee College of Music in Boston.
Right.
And it was for various things. He was like, "Oh, like you could do the guitar one if you wanted."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Actually, yeah, that sounds kind of cool." And so I was like, "All right." And so a 1 week program at Berklee is $2,000.
Whoa.
So
That's a lot.
I got a scholarship from high school for $1,000, and I used it towards that, and then used $1,000 of my own money.
Wow.
And I went there, and I was there, and it was a week-long program, so it was 7 days.
Yeah.
I could not even get through the first day. I was like, yo, this is so out of my league. This is so hard.
Right.
Because like that night I sat in my dorm room because I dormed there for the week. That's also why it was partially.
That's Berklee?
Yeah, Berklee.
Okay. Yeah.
My favorite part about it was the location and what I could see from the school. I hated the school.
Yeah.
No offense. But
shout out to Berklee.
Shout out to
we got
Berklee,
a couple
though.
friends that even graduated there, so shout out to Berklee.
That is A-okay. You don't have to agree with me.
You're right.
This is my personal experience.
Yep.
But so I went there, and I was like, I called my mom and my dad different times that night. Like, I forget who I called first, but I was like, yo, I cannot do this. Like, this sucks. But I was like, I paid money for this. I am going to get my money's worth.
Stick it through.
And I was like, I'm going to do it. This sucks, but I'm going to do it.
Right.
And so the reason I hated it so much was it was all, no professor stopped to explain something. They just, every
Assumed
professor
that you knew already.
assumed that you knew music theory.
Right.
And you know what all these terms mean, and you know where all the notes are on your instrument.
Right,
because you grew up playing scales. And I'm like, no, that I did not do that.
I need to be taught, step by step. Yeah.
I took guitar lessons for like 2
That was
months.
going to be my question, because I know that you play electric and acoustic.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to ask, are you self-taught lessons-wise?
So I took guitar lessons for like 2 months as a kid. And my music teacher, his name was Ian. I forget everything else about him, but he was cool. And I would go in there, and he would just be like, "So what song do you want to learn today?"
Right.
And then I was like, "How about this one?" And then he would either, I don't know if he already knew them or he just listened to them and already knew like how to play it.
Green Day?
What?
What you He asked you to play?
No, so he would like listen to the song that I wanted to play, and then I think he would either he already knew the song or he like figured it out right there.
Yeah.
But so that's how I learned.
Oh, by like ear watching.
Was just ear and be like, oh yeah, put your finger on this fret on this string, and I'm like, okay.
Last night you were freestyling.
Yeah.
With the
where it's like,
guitar.
if someone told me to put my hand on the C note, I'm like, I have no idea what that is.
That's at,
I don't know what that.
I'm horrible. I can just go like this on a guitar and just make noise. I cannot put anything together. So I got to give it up to people that, especially like self-taught.
Yeah, so after that, like, we couldn't really, like, afford it so much, so I just kind of went along with it and just would, like, look up YouTube videos on how to play songs. I would never look up music.
The best teacher nowadays is YouTube.
Deadass.
Ask anybody that. It's
Marty Schwartz on YouTube. He's a bomb teacher.
He's a boss teacher.
Yes. But I never looked up videos of music theory. I always looked up how to play the song.
Yeah, just directly.
And so then for like the first few years of my like guitar career as a kid, because I started when I was either 9 or 10, I forget.
That's pretty young. Yeah. And how old are you now? 22?
I'm 22, yeah.
Yeah. And you do a lot of online posts too, right? Or like I've gone through your social media and I see that for a while you were doing like almost daily music posts with the guitar and doing your thing. Where does that, like, are you that passionate about music that you love to post it like a lot on your Instagram? Because you seem pretty passionate after last night when I watched your performance. Yeah, so like the idea there was like I didn't have anything recorded to put on any streaming services. Right. I never like had any of that equipment or knew anybody with that equipment. So the only solution I could come up with was take a video of me playing it in my room just on my phone and then posting it. So I'm like, here are these songs I came up with and this is the only way I know how to release it out there. Right. This is how it's going to be, I guess. Yeah. And so then that has taken me here and I did the open mics to circle back. Yeah. So I did the open mics at the Middle East, and that day when I went up there, she was like, oh, well, you can be the very first or very last. I was like, I'll be very first. So I went up first. Mind you, everybody at this open mic, there's maybe max 6 people there. Oh, boy. Like 8 people there. Oh, boy. Like, yeah, we all had those nights. Yeah. And I was like, all right. But it was still, like, nice, though. And so I went up there and I played 2 original songs, and then I was like, thank you, and then I got down, went back to my seat, and then Aldra came over and then was like, hey, you're like really good. Do you want to do this every week? Right. And I was like, sure. Slot, yeah, I was like, sure. Right. And so from there, I would do those, and it was pretty cool. It was really fun. Awesome. I believe they were on Mondays, if my memory serves me correct. But I could be wrong. It might be Tuesdays. But they don't do it anymore. I think they sold the building, actually, and I'm so sad. Oh, really? Yeah. And then COVID hit, and then I couldn't do anything. COVID just ruined like so everything. I liked being in the house, I'm not gonna lie, because it was like my like alone time, my peace time, but it ruined everything else as far as like being able to like go to live events and just make you start showing vaccination cards and all that craziness. I'm so glad that time's over. Now, do you have a TikTok? I do have a TikTok. You do? But I like never actually use it. Okay, because I think last night I asked you if you had a TikTok and you said, I thought you said no, but so yeah, you don't use it much. No, my like go-to is Instagram. Okay. I don't really. I would encourage you to go on TikTok. I'm on there like all the time, every day, and I think your like live playing would really go well on TikTok. I think you could get a big following because you're super talented. So I always tell every artist too to take advantage of every social media outlet that you can. You know what I'm saying? I know you love Instagram, but you can also post on your TikTok, and then whatever you post on your TikTok, send it directly to your Instagram. You know what I mean? Share it back and forth. That's true. It's just more of an exposure for you. So that's true. I would encourage you to get more active on there if fair. You know, if you can. So last night you performed your new song? The first one was
The first one, I played, it was called Find My Way. It is on, ready for this?
Been Around.
Band. If you want to find my music, like actual music to listen to on
Right there.
Spotify or Apple Music,
Yep.
just look up my name. That is how you spell it. And so the first song I played was called Find My Way. That's out on Spotify
Yeah.
and Apple Music.
And is that your newest single, is what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. thought
I
you
have
said that
two
last
singles
time.
out. One is called Time to Be Free, and then the other one is Find My Way.
Yeah.
So go check those out.
Yeah, definitely. Stream immediately. You understand?
Exactly. But so I played that one. The recorded one that is on, I actually recorded here at Goat House Studios.
Shout out to Go House Studio, Juice Money, Nico Hustle, all the other engineers. Sorry. go ahead.
No, you're good. Lib actually did my recording. So Lib the Lion.
Shout out to Lib.
He's great. He recorded the two songs I have out, so thank you.
Yeah.
And so
Was last night first time performing the new one?
since I released it, yes.
Okay, yeah.
But I have played that song before.
Yep.
But the one on the on Spotify, that's with a 6-string guitar.
Okay.
The one I used last night was my 12-string guitar.
Foreign language to me. All I know is different strings, right? Okay. Less
Yeah.
strings and more strings. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between, like,
Well,
can play more chords?
no, not necessarily. It's more like, so a 6-string guitar, it's already hard to play because the strings are thicker on an acoustic guitar
Okay.
than an electric.
Yeah.
And so on the acoustic guitar with 6 strings, you can make it sound however you want, and it's great.
Yeah.
With a 12-string guitar, you can basically do the same thing, but it's double the strings.
Right.
So it makes it have a fuller sound because it is like, say there's a low note, there's the same note but one step higher.
Okay, yeah.
So it has this nice harmony behind it. And I also use it because A, I think it's fun, and B, if anyone ever wants to doubt my ability of being able to play the guitar, I'll just be like, do you want to play the hardest thing that you can play on a 6-string guitar? But if you can't do that, look at how I can do it on the 12-string guitar.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I don't want to discourage anybody from trying, but being a female guitarist in a world full of male guitarists.
Dominantly, yeah, mostly male, yeah.
And to be quite frank, and I don't mean to be mean, and I don't mean to cause any hate, but when I went to that Berkeley,
music school.
when I
School of
went,
music, whatever.
when I went for that week,
Yeah.
I guess I did not get the memo that I had to be a guy with an electric guitar.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm gonna say there was
They're
probably
everywhere.
it was
Yeah.
probably a good 500 of us, and a good maybe
30?
like maybe 50
Yeah.
of us were girls.
Yeah.
Like, it was so small. Also, most of the girls, if they were there, they played electric guitar, or there were very few people who had acoustic guitars.
yeah.
And I was like, what?
Kind of
Like,
make you feel like out of place, right?
Yeah,
Not out of
I was
place, but
like, what?
You're not
Like-
good enough. Where's your electric guitar, bro? Right?
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And it's like, also, to be quite frank, like, how often do you hear a song where it's a male guitarist doing some chords on an electric guitar, and then it goes into a guitar solo 2 minutes in, and he
Yeah.
does do 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 do,
That's
and
since
then
like the 80s, yeah.
and then the song ends, and it's like, you've heard that before time and time again, and it's like, if you have to be different,
You do.
or you have to be so good at what you do
Yeah.
to stand out.
100%.
And it's like, me personally, like, I'm wearing sunglasses and whatever this is.
That's your personality. You're a cool person.
Thank you.
You know?
But it's like, someone will like be watching this maybe like on a feed and be like, what is she wearing?
Oh, wow.
And then be like,
You know what we say to that? Mind your business.
Exactly.
She drinks
And it's
whatever she
like,
wants.
I caught your attention.
And it's
Joke's
October.
on you.
And it's October. It's gonna be Halloween soon, so
That's my favorite
she came
holiday.
very festive, very
Exactly.
festive. So now you were doing music, learned the guitar at, you said around like 9 or 10.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where your like deep passion comes for music, or was it before that? Like maybe listening to the radio, watching music videos, or somebody you know, or
Well, to throw it back, my grandfather on my dad's side, he was a very good pianist. Like, he went to school and learned, like, he went to Catholic school and was taught the piano, and, like, the nuns would, like, crack his wrists if he didn't do
and
something
they do the
right.
Organs too.
Yeah. So he was a phenomenal pianist, but then he also taught my dad, and he took the basis of being able to move the fingers to different notes to make different sounds. But it's like, my grandfather played very classical music, and my dad doesn't, but you can tell that he's kind of influenced by that, just like the
so
technique.
Dad's a musician too?
Yeah, and then he taught...
family of musicians?
Yeah.
Is mom a musician?
No.
Mom.
My brother is a musician, though.
Wow.
My dad taught us both piano and then some guitar. Like, he can play, like, 3 things on the guitar, but he was like, yo, guys, check this out.
So wait, you can play the piano too?
Yeah.
Oh, kind of.
Yeah, I can play piano.
Wow. Yo, get the piano over there. I want to see your knowledge. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, yeah.
I'm joking.
Oh, okay. I mean, I
that's
would.
talent. You play the guitar and the piano. That's clutch.
I'm actually taking drum lessons from Jeff from the band Toy Monsoon. They've been on some of the Hustle Killer bills before.
Okay.
They're very good.
Yeah.
Toy Monsoon on Instagram.
Toy Monsoon on Instagram.
But I'm taking drum lessons from the drummer, Jeff.
Yeah.
And he's really good. And then I'm also trying to buy this flute from somebody so I can teach myself the flute.
Oh, wow.
Just imagine how sick that would be.
You just show up.
Be like, yo, watch this.
Yeah, like so funny.
It'd be because Cautious Clay. I don't know if you know him.
I've heard of him.
He's actually really good, and I saw him in concert a few months ago. And I was not aware that all the wind instruments that I heard in his songs were him, because when I saw him live, he had a saxophone, I believe. He had 2 flutes. He did have a guitar, and I think he had something else. But he could play all of them.
Right.
And so in this song, Wildfire with Strings, there's this really cool flute solo in it. And I know that's him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I want to be able to do that. So I'm like, yeah, give me that flute.
That's funny. Are you into cosplay at all?
Why?
Are you into Star Wars cosplay?
No, I'm not. About
Not specifics?
Not specifically Star Wars, but I have gone to conventions in costume.
Right. Okay, I did a little research. I saw that you were on your little cosplay, outfit. That's cool. Where does that come from? Just like
that is
growing up, or
my friends in high school, they would always go to like Anime Boston or Boston Comic Con.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, that like sounds kind of fun. But I wasn't into anime at the time. So then they got me into some anime, and I was like, oh, wow, this is actually really interesting. And then
you used to draw too when you were younger, right?
Yeah.
Like, a lot. Yeah.
I can only draw like front-facing characters, but I could draw them.
No 3D images.
Yeah, no, I was bad at 3D.
So we're gonna wrap up this episode.
Got you.
But I need to know right now, or of all time, or no, I want to know of all time and right now who your favorite band or artists are. So when you maybe growing up, who was your favorite band or artist? And then now, who's your favorite band or artist?
Growing up from like birth to when I was, let's say, 18.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Pink Floyd. I very much enjoyed Tears for Fears.
Okay.
I very much enjoyed Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. Classics. Check you out. All types of young you loving the 70s and 80s music, huh?
And then right now I still love all those bands. My favorite... Oh, I very much enjoy Florence and the Machine.
Okay, yeah.
I also enjoy this band called Palace. They're very good. There's also this other guitarist. They go by they, them, but their name is Tash Sultana, and they can play... that's where I actually get my 12-string influence from. Like, all that stuff that I can do is from them. And they just go ham.
Right.
And, like, you can't sit here and tell me there's a better guitarist out there.
And that's your, like, newest go-to band. That's what's up.
They're just a solo artist.
Right.
But
what I want to say? Hey, we can't forget our sponsors. Shout out to Go House Studio and Hustle Killer, all right? Our main sponsors, want to thank you. The wheels do not turn without you guys. So I always appreciate your sponsors. Always. And today, this is episode 4, season 3. And to my right, the lovely Allison Koosman. All right? Make sure you look her up. See this right here? New songs. Stream them right now. All her other social media right here, all right? Make sure you get in tune with that. And you have a show coming up soon?
I don't think so.
Okay. But every Wednesday at the Jungle, there's an open mic, right? Or every Wednesday? All right, yeah. So all your up-and-coming artists, definitely make sure you check out the Jungle and check out Allison online. And thank you so much for coming. And can I get a holiday? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're wrapping up. We're out of here.